Hi, this is Neil Cole from Conversion Uplift. Today I'm going to show you how to create and configure a Rollup property using GA4 free. This will allow you to send data from multiple websites that may be competing with each other, so that you can see all your data in one property, but also you can see users that go from one site to another. So the first thing we need to do is create a Rollup GA4 property. So let's go to that. So to create a Rollup property, we just create a normal GA4 free property, and you just give it a name. So we've called ours GA4 Rollup property, which we've done, and then just go to the data streams once you've set it up and copy the measurement ID. We've just put in our main URL, but it doesn't really matter. You just put in the URL that perhaps is your biggest site, or maybe if it's a theme, then use that. So we'll just copy the measurement ID. Then we need to go back to GTM to configure our Google tag next. So we'll just come out of there. So in GTM we need to duplicate the Google tag, because this determines where our data is sent. So we need to copy by using the three dots. We can create a new folder for Rollup. So just create that, and then we'll put Rollup at the end of the name so that it's clear that it's the Rollup tag. And what we have to do next, we need to change the measurement ID, which is currently a table, for our main property. So we'll create a new variable though, so we can add it easily to other tags and events that we want to use for the Rollup property. So we'll just click on the plus and we'll make a variable. We'll just put it in the Rollup folder again, and we'll call it measurement ID, and it's Rollup, and you can put the measure ID as well if you want there, but click in that, and then we need to find at the top of the utilities, it's the constant variable we want. So we just paste in the value of the measurement ID, and save that, and then we'll add that to our GA4 Google tag Rollup. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is we need to set the cookies. We need to give the GA and the measurement ID cookies a prefix so that it's different from our main property. So it's prefix, cookie prefix, which is actually a predefined parameter, and then we just need to put in Rollup as the value, and that's what will be the prefix for our cookies for the Rollup property. So the normal GA and measurement IDs will also be there for our existing property, our main property. Right, so that's good, that's done. So we just need to check. So we've got some tag sequencing here in our Google tag. Now we don't need to duplicate that, because otherwise I'll just fire off parameters that we don't need twice necessarily anyway. So we're going to take them off, and we've got our Google tag to fire before the page view event, so there's no trigger. So we'll need to, when we duplicate the page view event for the Rollup property, we will set it so that the sequence will fire the Google tag for Rollup property before the page view event for Rollup property. So we'll do that in a minute. So we'll just save this, and then we need to go to our separate page view event. We need to duplicate that. Now you do need to duplicate every event you want to send to your Rollup property. So it could mean that you doubled the size of your container, which may be a concern if you've got a very big container with lots of events. If if you haven't, then it may be not a big deal. If you have got lots of events and you don't really want to double the size of the container, then you just have to be selective in terms of which events you send to the Rollup property. So we've copied that, called it Rollup. We need to change the measurement ID, so we just need to remove that, and then of course we can just add our new Rollup property measurement ID by using the search. Just type Rollup and it comes up, so it's easy to find. We need to add this to the Rollup folder, so okay, we've got everything there set up. So what we need to do here is change the sequence so that it doesn't fire the normal Google tag. We want it to fire the Rollup Google tag. So there you go. Around there. So we've got the GA4 Google tag Rollup. That's the one we want it to fire before the page view event. So that's fine. So we'll save that. We've changed the measurement ID. So we've now got two page view events, one the normal property and the one for the Rollup property. So as I mentioned, we need to duplicate any other events, so we'll pick a certificate slider visibility event and we'll duplicate this one as well, just to sort of give you an example. So we'll just copy that. So we just need to add Rollup at the end. And we'll add it to the Rollup folder. And then we need to change the measurement ID. That's the important thing to remember to do, so that it actually goes to the right property. So we'll just delete that. And we just type in Rollup. And we've got the measurement ID there. So that's straightforward. And we can just save that. So now we've got two certificate slider visibility events. One Rollup, one normal. So great. So the next thing we need to do is go to our GA4 Rollup property. And in here we need to go to the data streams again. We need to configure cross-domain tracking because you're sending data from a number of different properties to this single Rollup property. So we just need to go to configure tag settings and set the different domains, which we'll explain in a minute. So it's configure your domains. So I'll just add one, but obviously you'd need to add them all. So I'm just going to use contain. So it's conversion uplift and it's .com. It's our other site. So we'll save that. And then we'll come out of the streams and we'll go to the debug view because we want to test whether our setup is actually sending data to our Rollup property as well as our normal property. So we'll just go into the debug view, ready, and then now we'll go back to GTM to go use preview mode to test our setup because we've not published our new tags yet. So in GTM we need to use preview mode to test our new setup before we decide to publish. So we'll just connect and then I'll need to go back to the tag assistant in a second just to continue. So here we are, we just need to click continue. Let's see what's fired. So we've got a normal page view event and we've also got the Rollup page view event and we've also got the Google tag Rollup and normal Google tag. So that looks good. They're both fired just once, which is correct. Not expecting any other Rollup events to fire. So let's go to our website. So let's use Chrome console. So developer tools, so right click in Chrome and inspect, and let's check the cookies. So we'll go to the application tab, and here straight away we can see that the Rollup prefixes work because we've got a prefix of Rollup for the measurement ID cookie and the normal GA cookie. Those are the two cookies that we use. And we can also go to the network tab, and if we refresh the page we can see whether we're getting different measurement IDs. So let's just refresh the page. So we can see here that we've got two different measurement IDs, which is great. That's what we're looking for. So let's have a look. That's H. Go to payload. Let's say fetch user data. What's this? So that's a page view. That's for the DW measurement ID. And then what about this one? It's the different measurement ID. That's also page view. So we've got two page views. That's great. So what we need to do next is go back to GA4, our Rollup property. First of all, and just check the data is being received. So we're in our GA4 Rollup property, and we can see here page view and then another page view because of course I refreshed the page, and we can check that it's come from our main site. Go to page location, we'll see the URL, the debug view on it. So let's also go back, let's close that, to our normal property and check that we're getting data in the normal property. So let's do it. So we're here in the normal conversion uplift GA4 property. So we'll go to admin, and we'll go down to the debug view, and we should see some events recently fired, and we have indeed. We've got a few more events here because obviously we're sending all our events to this property at the moment. We haven't configured all our events in the Rollup property, but again we've got a page view event, and we can just confirm on the page location it's the same page view. So that's worked great. It's all fired. So just some more things to consider. So with our normal properties, we've got three properties. We've got brand 1. So if a user within the session timeout period comes to brand 1 and then goes to brand 2 and then goes to site brand 3, we still have session A and user A in brand 1, session B and user B in brand 2, and session C and user C in brand 3. So it'll be 3 sessions and 3 users. But the great thing about the Rollup property is that because we've done cross-domain tracking, the user that goes between all 3 sites in the Rollup property will only be seen as 1 session and 1 user. So when you aggregate your data from your 3 properties, it won't match up with the Rollup property, partly because any users that went between more than 1 site will only be counted once in the Rollup property. But you can obviously track the sites they visited by using like the host name, for instance, in your GA4 analysis. So even though they only count as 1 user and 1 session, you can still tell or identify those users that went between multiple sites. So I hope you found that useful. I'll be posting more videos soon.